Hey everybody, it's G-Bear out here in the desert. On the last day I'm getting ready to go back to work. I've got a bunch of jobs to take care of this week. It's Tuesday right now, September 19th I think. Yeah, it's September 19th. Boy, I lost time out here. Anyway, I wanted to show you something out here. My wind turbine is spinning like crazy right now. And it's been going like that for more than 28 hours. It's just been windy. I've got my filtered microphone on so that the wind won't bother my conversation here, but that thing has been cooking off like crazy. And for the first time since that thing has been pumping, I see it putting out electricity inside, and the batteries are bouncing off of 13.4 volts. I also added the winter tilt to my panels there to face the sun in the southern sky, get the best angle to them. And one thing I probably will do is when I add the second bank of solar out there where those 2x4s and the old bag of cement is, I will turn it a little bit because I miscalculated just a little bit on the direction of the sun. In the summer, the sun comes up right over the cabin, not the cabin, but the shed there, and it sets right over Shadow Mountain. Right now, it's already started to transverse a little bit, and it comes up right about to the right of the cabin. It runs right over. It's getting perfect hit on my panels right now. It runs right over and it settles in between those two mountain ranges there, kind of on that slope right about there. So I need to turn the panels just slightly so that I pick up more morning sun on that. Now we got a caravan of Range Rovers going down the road right now. Anyway, I wanted to show you that part. The other thing is over here, you see a white line coming off of my red line that comes off of the shower, and that runs down to my sink. So I've got my sink set up here to where I can get water out of my sink. And of course the wind's blowing right now, but I can get water in the sink. And I'll bring some Ajax up and scrub that out. I got some little deposits of from the sand and dirt and that stuff built up in there from the rainwater. So I got that part done. There's my hood for the tankless water heater. I forgot where I was going with that. That actually has a flap inside of it, so when there's no exhaust coming, it closes the flap down so the wind doesn't blow back in and cool me off inside, or vice versa. So anyway, let's go inside. And we have drywall. Yes, we do. I got some tape and some mud on. I was out here again this morning taping and mudding. And I did the area behind the door. I did the area above the door. I did all of the area where the bed is going to go, all the way up until that point, because that's where the electrical starts. Now, I got my panel cut here. The wood panel is going to go straight up from where it's at, in between those two studs that doesn't have any insulation. It will get insulated. And then all that electronics will go onto the board. And that'll be a temporary wall until the time comes when I can finish up the wall and get all my electrical in outdoors. Then I'm going to put another panel down there to close off the bottom of the electrical panel and insulate that so that I will be fully insulated. Now I got that corner insulated, and this piece right there is already cut to go right in that corner. And I left exactly 4 feet between those two studs. So it's 4 foot by 8 foot tall. One sheet will cover that whole section right there without a problem. So all I have to do is, when I'm ready, after the electrical is all settled and moved, and I don't need to run any more wires out of the panel, because I've got to plan ahead for the room additions that going on here. I'm going to need to run electricity over there. And I have on this side of the panel, I have where a main breaker would normally go. I don't have one on here because I'm using a main breaker in between the batteries and the inverter. So I'm going to add another set of 20 amps right there, two double stacks. So that give me four more breakers, and then I will run the wire for that up into the attic, run a couple of them across over to there, and just put them in a box and just let it rest right there. So when I do pull that wall off and do my room extension on that side for the bathroom and all of that, I will be able to take a couple of new circuits over there. Now you can see everything is all taped and mudded, and that cardboard right there, I cut those to size. They fit right in the windows, but the mud is still a little wet around the windows right there, so I'm not going to insert them until the last minute. I got one over there for that one, and then I've got one sitting right here beside the refrigerator. That'll go up right there, and that should give me the no looky insidey. That's all I can say about it right now. I do want to remind you, at the bottom of this video, you give me a thumbs up if you like my videos, and if you haven't already, to please subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. It's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff coming out here real soon. I just thought about how I'm going to grow some potatoes through the winter, and I'm going to grow them above ground, way above ground. They're going to be cloud potatoes. They're going to be up in the sky, and that way the critters can't get to them. And then when the cold temperatures come, I can bag them and keep the heat in. Pretty cool idea, huh? That'll be coming up on a future video. I've got all my lumber sitting right here. Well, most of it. The plywood I've got inside of the container already. This is for my front deck here. My 8x12 front porch. Going to be a nice place to sit. I got my ATV loaded up and the trailer connected to the van, all ready to go. I've already moved everything out of the motorhome that I need to take with me. And I'm going to go over and secure the container in a little while, and then take a shower and get on the road. It's going to be a slow going hauling that trailer with the ATV. I'm probably going to take about 2 hours to get home, to my other home anyway, and I'll get some things done. That's about it. I just wanted to show you all that's been going. Now, there's a good gust of wind, and you look at that turbine, that thing is cranking out. Let's go inside here. I wanted to show you how I know it's putting out. I moved the wires from the MPPT controller over to the PWM. And see, this one is showing 13 volts right now. And this is 12.9. And this is the new Harbor Freight 100 watt, and that's 12.8. So this one is taking in extra voltage that this one and this one isn't. Now, I saw this one up to 13.4 and flashing on 13.5 a little earlier today. The winds are starting to calm down now, and that's a good thing for me because I'll be able to haul that trailer without getting blown back and forth across the desert. So I wanted to show you that before I closed up here. I've got everything in disarray. On my next trip out, I will be disconnecting all of this electrical, taking all of that out of the wall, taking all the wires down, and then I'm going to finish up insulating this wall, getting this corner panel in, getting the wood panel up on the top. Insulation, all the walls will be fully insulated. What a difference in temperature in here since I've just insulated 3/4 of this thing. And I will be putting up the ceiling panels. Those will be styrofoam lined with foil on one side and plastic coat on the other side. and they're 1.25 inches thick. They've got an R value that's astronomical, so that should be interesting. Lightweight ceiling, it'd be real easy to handle. I'll just make a simple pole to hold them up in place with a flat piece of plywood on there, and I can just put them up in place and then do my job and shoot my screws, whatever I want to do. I'm thinking that on the seams, I may just put a piece of 1x2 wood, 10 foot long, all the way along the seam. I might even run my router along it and make it look like a nice piece of molding. But that'll hold and seal the seams better. There is an adhesive that'll be going in there, but then I won't have to look at the seams either. I'll have a nice decorative ceiling. I'll also be getting the water heater hooked up on the next trip. I want to bring up my dustless sanding unit that I have back at my shop. And I can sand all this drywall in this whole place in about 15 minutes. And no dust. It all goes directly into a vacuum. I'll show you that when I bring it up. I'll demonstrate how it works. And it's pretty cool. It goes real fast. And I still got to get some more mud on the corners and on the tape line over there and around the windows. But I do have to do a quick scuff sand all the way around before I do that. And some of these tape lines are just got the first coat and the first bit of tape on there. So there's more work to do, but hey, if need be, I could move in and I could do a little bit of this at a time. Just move furniture from one side of the room to the other, do this section right here, and then move everything back the other way, and then do that section there. And then over here, of course, all I've got to do is have my water heater off, and so forth and so on. So that's where we stand. Everything's working. Oh yeah, I never did show you this. This is the switch for the pump. You hear it just pick up the pressure, and now I can turn on the faucet and I have running water. Pretty cool, huh? And as soon as I shut it off, it's up to pressure, the pump shuts off. Then I just kill the switch to make sure if there was a leak, it doesn't just pump all my water out down the drain. Again, I say if there was a leak, like I ever have leaks. And I'm using all SharkBite equipment in here. You can see that even says SharkBite right there on the pipe. And SharkBite push-on connectors. Pretty cool stuff. Real easy to work with. No soldering, no fire, no none of that stuff. Just push everything together real quick. And I can adapt from one size to the other. I'll be bringing up a 100-foot roll of 1 inch, which will be coming down from my water tank down to the cabin. And then on one of the trips, I think I'm going to rent a trencher, a witch ditch at Home Depot. And I'm just going to start right up there at the water tank and just ditch all the way down through here. I might even go 17 or 18 inches deep, because I did have another change in plan. And what that entails is the water truck. And I want to get it down, the line down deep enough at this area right here, because you see this like road that goes around here and runs right back out again. Well, my water truck delivery can go in, and he goes in that other road over there, goes past the old garden, and goes up to the other side of the water tank where I'll have the fill opening. And he can stop right there. He's on the high side of the tank. He can fill the tank and then just come right out around this way. I'll be taking a couple of bushes out back there to give him a little extra room. He'll come right out around here, just make this swerve and go right back out again. So he won't have to do any backing up or any of that stuff on here. It'll be just an easy access for him. That's it, G-Bear signing off. Homesteading the desert, another weekend with a lot accomplished. See y'all later.